It's the mind behind the curtain.
Woo! Yeah! Back. We're back, baby.
How y'all doing?
How y'all doing, people?
Talk about the king of the game.
That's right, baby.
Good, universal, positive, and negative.
Yeah.
So we're back, brother, for another great episode of The Mind Behind the Curtain.
Yes. And on this episode, we have to give a
Disclaimer?
thank you. We are not professionals.
No, we're not professionals and we're not liable to any of your actions. Please make sure you watch this show under your own supervision and of parents. If you're underage, make sure you watch this under some heavy supervision and make sure you do not. Oh, I'm like getting excited here. You do not believe everything we say. Please do not take us hardly and solely because we could be wrong. But this is just what we see, people. And then once Jose gets back in here, because he's having a laugh fit, usually this happens. Whenever I get him cracking up, he goes off because he can't help himself. But hey, Jose, get back in here, man. Come on. We only got 20 minutes. Well, okay. Well, thank you very much for being here with us again on The Mind Behind the Curtain. This episode, like I said, like Jose said, it's going to be a very touchy subject. And it might find a way into your mind, into your soul, into your heart, because we're going to talk about the vaccines. And the question is, and the title of this episode is, are the vaccines working? And now Jose, hopefully will be back in time for us to continue this episode. But I'm going to start it. I'm going to start it with Jose or without Jose. So my question is, who should be more scared of getting infected? All right? Now that Jose's coming back. Come on, Jose, get your ass over here, man. I just asked a very important question. And
I can't stop laughing. Oh my god.
Who should be more scared of getting infected? I know you might be thinking out there, what is this guy why is he asking this question? What is this guy on right now? But I mean, we always try to make light of every situation, especially everything that we're going through right now with this pandemic and this set of rules and war and everything that's happening, but yeah, Jose, come on, man, get in here, man.
Are you serious? We're still recording?
Jose's got some really important points that he's gonna bring up, and man, all right. So I asked the question. I asked the question.
I'm sure they saw me leave and take it. You made me laugh so hard, man. You probably heard.
No, I didn't hear anything. They just heard the lid of the toilet hit. Like, I heard that. So if I heard that, the mic heard that.
No, come on, man. Seriously.
I know. I always make
We're still
lose
recording.
his shit.
Are
you
you
lost your shit, bro. Keep it together, man. We got a show to run here.
Yeah, but we can redo the shit.
No, we can't redo it. This is the unique thing about The Mind Behind the Curtain, bro.
We don't edit.
We don't edit. We just go with the flow and we do it because we don't have the funds or the time. But anyway, so let's get right into it, man. Okay, so. Jose, who should be more scared of getting infected, bro? The vaxxers or the anti-vaxxers? Or everybody in between? Well, is there anybody in between?
The removable middle.
The removable middle. The movable middle. The unmovable. The movable middle. All right.
I can't keep my composure, man. Look at me. I'm crying right now because it's so funny what was going on.
Well, in my opinion, man, nobody should be scared. Not even the vaxxers or the anti-vaxxers. I mean, it is serious. The virus is serious. It is out there. But more than anything, you should be prepared. and educate yourself on how you can avoid catching this fucking virus, because nobody since this thing began has talked about how we can avoid getting infected. You know, sure, they gave us protocols, they gave us very simple rules to follow, like
orders,
keep 6 feet apart, wear a mask, yeah, and make sure you get your vaccine when it comes out and your booster, and if you end up in the hospital, you're gonna use a ventilator and oxygen, and that's it. Man, but there's so many other things that we can do, right?
How many times have we talked about this, people? Like, especially on this podcast.
Yes.
I mean, we've talked about this.
All right. So let me ask you, bro. Who should be more scared, bro? The vaxxers or the anti-vaxxers or the movable middle?
At this moment, I don't think anyone should be scared anymore.
I agree.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. We have to give recognition to both sides of the spectrum, the vax
100%.
and the unvax. Why?
Yes.
Okay, yes, the unvax did what they were doing, and they brought up the quota for the sales of the vaccines that the government wanted to push out.
That's true.
But on the other,
we justified the sales. We definitely justified the sales.
Yeah.
And the money that these people were making on the stock market. Yes.
The endorsements. Where's your endorsements? Okay, and then the other side of the spectrum, you have the unvax, right? Who built huge
protests. He can't contain himself. I mean, this is probably going to be the most exciting podcast that we've ever shot with all this laughter. But what he was trying to say is that, yes, we should give credit and props to both sides, like the vaxxers and the anvaxxers. Why the anvaxxers, you may ask?
Okay, hold on.
Because
I gotta come in here. I gotta be serious.
Because the anvaxxers held their ground, bro.
Yes, okay, hold on. Let me.
And for the vaxxers, you know, they actually took one for the team. You know, let's just put it that way.
Okay. Okay, I'm back to professionalism. All right. I was laughing, not because of the situation that what we're discussing. I was laughing at a whole other thing that was going on behind the scenes, and I can't contain myself, right?
The way I was doing my disclaimer.
That's one of them, but there was another thing. But anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, so the unvaxxed and the vaccinated, right? We have to give props to both of them. And the unvaxxed went through this without being bullied, as I put it. Bullied to the maximum of all these rules, regulations, and being forceful into doing something that they didn't want to do. Now, the thing is with this, the unvaxxed, and I don't want to call it a movement, I don't want to call it individuals that are against the vaccine, the anti-vaxxers. I don't want to talk about that.
No, it's too vague of a topic.
No, I'm going to break it down a little bit, though.
Yeah.
Because I know majority of these individuals had vaccinations in their lifetime.
Of course, 100%.
So it can't be about anti-vaxxed, right? It has to be about this vaccine that has come out and they just don't approve it for themselves. They don't want this in their bodies because they're afraid that there hasn't been studies long-term for side effects.
Yeah, long-term studies that can show us that are beneficial or not harmful to the body.
Exactly, like because we don't know they're going to cause disease, inflammation down the road, or other complications that are already coming out now with Pfizer.
Oh yeah,
and talking about it, and Moderna, right? Because right now they're talking about there's a so-called herpes complex that is coming out with one of the vaccines, and now people are getting tested for herpes, and
they're getting flare-ups of herpes
and HIV, right? And then there's another one with liver inflammation.
Oh yeah,
right, which causes
that's another thing that we do know, that it does cause inflammation in some organs.
It does,
you know?
Of course, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's going to happen to everybody out there, but it's going to happen to those who have immune deficiency in some sense.
Or some even any underlying disease or problems with their organs. Like, you know, one common thing that I've talked to people about is that they get this bloatiness feeling in their stomach. And a lot of people have stomach issues.
I heard about that. Yeah.
I'm one of them. I'm not going to lie, man. I was getting some bloatiness in the beginning.
Right. And you had... problems with your arm as well.
Oh, my arm was hurting for a long time.
Yeah.
And even when I caught COVID, I felt like the virus was traveling through my body,
Yeah,
looking
same with
for
me.
a weak link. Because you caught COVID as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
And most of the people caught it in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
You know, and that brings back the... that brings us to the next thing, you know, where... And we want to conclude the first part of it where we asked who should be scared. Well, yeah, it's not about being scared,
No.
but it's all about being informed and prepared. So the next thing is, are we a walking factory of these viruses?
Mm-hmm.
Are animals walking around just mutating all these viruses like how we are?
Well,
and what is helping us mutate these viruses?
Well, there's 100,000 of them in our bodies to begin with
sure.
that are dormant, right?
yes.
It's something that triggers them to come out, right? It could be like it's immune deficiency, vitamin deficiency.
Yeah,
It
lack
could
of sleep,
be a nutrient,
stress.
a mineral
Yeah.
that we're lacking from
100%.
from the soils that don't have them anymore.
That's right.
That's not in our vegetables or our fruits, right?
Because everything is GMO these days,
Exactly.
especially out
right?
here in the West.
And that's the
north.
thing, like I brought up a long time ago when Bonnie Henry came out and addressed the country, I mean, not the country, but the city and everything, saying that, you know, wear a mask, social distancing, be prepared to have the vaccine, and get out on a regular basis for exercise.
That came
never-
later. That came way
later.
Almost
The
a year and a
exercise
half
came
later.
way later,
Yeah,
yeah.
where she could have introduced that in the beginning.
But she should have introduced
Yeah.
vitamins. She should have introduced other health supplements.
Of course.
And diet.
Well, and that goes back to what we said, is that they wanted us to be so dependent on their number one solution,
The
and that is
vaccine.
the vaccine.
Yeah.
So back to the topic of this episode is like, are vaccines working? See,
No.
And will vaccines work if we know that all these viruses are eventually going to continue to mutate? You know, so that means that there's no choice then to continue making new vaccines and being up to date with your boosters and all that. But is that the solution? Is
No.
that really the solution?
No.
Maybe not. You know,
I believe, truly, I believe that this vaccine has done nothing but cause division.
100%.
And on top of that, it's caused so much confusion
Yeah.
within the health community, within just the society itself,
Yep.
with every individual and family member.
Yeah.
And what it's doing is it's stating that it's going to do something when it's not doing it, because everyone's catching this freaking
Everybody's catching
virus now.
Vaxxers, anti-vaxxers,
Yeah, everybody.
So that leads us into the next thing. I mean, yes, there's a lot of rudeness and animosity being built up because of this vaccine or
Hesitancy?
vaxxers and anti-vaxxers.
Or,
Yeah.
or vaccine hesitancy.
Or yeah, exactly. And
That's what it
the
is.
movable middle that has never been moved towards getting the vaccine. or
But
not.
the movable,
I was that.
Well, I
Yeah.
was as well. But the thing is, the movable middle was brought upon us because the government implemented that word to
100%.
us.
100%.
So it was psyops.
Yeah, and that word actually took flight and became very popular during the LGQTB or
Big time.
DC, ABC, FSG,
XYZ. Yeah.
movement.
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
they wanted
yeah,
to
yeah.
have a lot of people that were against that movement to move towards accepting it.
Exactly.
And there's still people that don't accept it. I mean, I never had to be asked that question
Or go against it.
because I don't see any problem with those people.
Exactly. Let them do
making their
what they
choice.
wanna do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, it's their
As
life.
long- and that's the thing. Taking it now to this current pandemic and this current movement of the separation and division between people, the vaxxers, the anti-vaxxers, how is it affecting us? How is it affecting you? That's the thing that we have to ask.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, have we reached the goal that we set out for us to reach? Have we reached herd immunity?
I believe we have.
Have the vaxxers and the anti-vaxxers reached herd immunity? Yes, I agree with
I
you.
think there's division still there with the anti-vax. Well, I don't want to say anti-vaxxers. I don't like that word.
I don't like it either.
I like to just say vaccine hesitancy.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's the right word to express these people that don't want to have the vaccine. They're hesitant because of their own notion of who they are and, about their immunity, about their health, right?
And the truth is that in about, 2 years from now or 3 years from now, we're going to look back and we always call out what we see and what...
A viral pill, we said.
Yeah, there's going to be a viral pill. We talked about the viral pill.
Yeah.
And we're going to reach a point where we are going to realize that this is all behind us. And those people that did not choose to get the vaccine will prove that there were so many other alternative solutions to live through this.
Yeah.
There's people that haven't been vaxxed, that have survived this pandemic.
Yeah.
Thank God for those people. Yes, we've all lost a lot of individuals and family members, friends, and it's horrible. But in my experience, it all came down to not knowing what to do when our family members came ill or fell ill with the virus.
Well, we were talking
because we were only given 2 solutions.
Right. Well, ventilators.
And oxygen. Come on.
And then we figured out, okay, after watching that documentary...
The first wave.
Yeah, you saw that.
Guess I don't see the first wave.
That's all we have to say. We don't even have to explain what's going on there.
Yeah, I think we talked about it in a previous podcast.
Yeah, several times.
Yeah.
But now there's a new vaccine that's come out. And, now everyone's trying to jump on that now, right?
Yeah.
The Novavax.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's the NVXCOV 2373.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another COVID term for a new mutated version of the COV.
Yeah.
COV.
Yeah, pretty much.
ID.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's the thing that these vaccines and medicines that are going to make their way into our lives are going to be preventable medications. It's only going to prevent you from catching it. Yeah. Right? Or not even preventing from catching, because you'll catch it. Preventing you from falling ill, like extremely ill.
Yeah.
But how about the people that haven't caught COVID? What have they done to prevent catching it? At all? And is it beneficial for them not to catch it?
Right.
No, they should catch it.
Right.
And I hate to say that, but they should catch it in order to know how it feels and have somebody that already knows what the experience will be like or is like to explain to them. Listen, you're short of breath. Don't worry. Here's a Ventolin. Here's a puffer. Yeah. Use the puffer. Try it. See what happens. Exactly. Here's this medication you can try. Here's this. Here's that. Here, you need to lay down. You need to have some soup, some water, some liquid, some orange juice, blah, 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 some chicken soup, whatever.
Yeah.
This is the vitamins you got to take. These are the vitamins like NAC, quercetin,
vitamin D, vitamin D3 though. Not vitamin D, vitamin D3.
D3, yeah. B12, B13.
Zinc. Definitely.
Yeah.
Magnesium.
That's right.
Yeah. All of that.
How are we going to even out the playing field? How are we going to even it out, bro? How are we going to all get along? Understand there's other alternative medicine out there or alternative methods to avoid getting the COVID or dealing with it or surviving it. How can we even it out? Even out the conflict and the animosity that is.
I was about to say that too.
Yeah,
I think right now we're at a stage where we can't get back to what we were. Without the division, without the conflict with each other. I believe now it's part of our society, and until both come to an agreement, or I can't even say an agreement because we're not like, it's not like we're in Parliament and we're going conservative against liberal, right? It's not that. It's more that we are listening too much to outside sources instead of listening to self.
That's right.
And if we start listening to ourselves and really looking deep into one another, that's the only way this will be resolved.
That's right. Because it ultimately it all comes down to us.
Yeah.
To us
Exactly.
people. You know what I mean? And I mean that in the sense that we all have to be honest with each other. You know, if you're yearning to go out and party or be social or
Don't
whatever,
be sick.
but if you're sick, stay home, right? Nobody's gonna hate you. You're not gonna miss out on life just because you stayed home a couple of days, few days from catching even just a simple cold or flu.
Yeah, it's selfishness. Right?
Yeah, it's selfishness. Don't go out. And you know what? The next time you go out and you're healthy, you know, in whether you're vaxxed or unvaxxed, you know, and you go to your local pub, the bouncer at the door, he might let you in without even checking a passport card, you know, a vaccine passport card.
Yeah.
He might be like, or a QR code or whatever. He's just gonna be like, come on in, man. How are you feeling? You know, I'm feeling pretty good, man. You're not feeling sick or nothing? No, man. Okay, well, come on in. Because eventually those passport vaccine cards are gonna be obsolete.
Yeah. But we're going to have something else implemented, obviously, that's digital, but it won't be for the vaccine purpose.
Well, we have a system in place at work in the film industry where we have a pre-screening that we actually log into, and then we go through a series of questions, where they ask you, like, do you suffer from this symptoms? You have this symptoms? Have you come in contact with somebody?
No, none of the above.
And then you go in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why I'm saying it's up to the honesty of the individual. You know?
Thank you. And that's the reason why we don't need these type of implications and orders and regulations onto us. They're treating us like we're little kindergarten kids.
And maybe perhaps that's the answer right there to why are we here today on this day and age in the position that we are as human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because there's a lot of us that are still immature and have to be treated like little children.
Unfortunately. Yeah, that's true.
And that being said, educate yourself, be honest with yourself, stay home if you're sick, and keep each other healthy, and educate yourself with more and more information about how to prevent it, how to treat it, you know, because there's multiple options out there.
How to stay healthy completely. That's the main way and main source.
And we were in a path. We were in a path on you know, like before COVID. You know, I can tell you that for about 15 to 20 years, a lot of the people, especially up here in Canada,
we're more health conscious.
Yeah, we're more health conscious, like working out, eating healthy, you know, taking their vitamins, not drinking, not becoming addicted to drugs or alcohol, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So that being said, perhaps all of this can teach us something good, right?
Yeah, I mean, what I got out of all of this is we have to stay together. We can't be
100%.
separated, have division, because once you're divided, they conquer.
Yeah, 100%.
It's throughout history.
Like the old saying, man.
Yeah.
Divide and conquer.
Exactly. And that's what's happened. They divided us into two separate groups, maybe even three separate groups, who knows. And they conquered every order, every regulation, everything they wanted to do to us and implement to us, they got away with. Even government overreach they used, you know, to take away, I hate to say freedoms, but freedoms, individual identity.
They took away things like we were accustomed to doing on a daily basis or whatever, our habits, which people translated into freedoms. You know, into like, these, because the people that were used to going down to the pub and having their beer, you know, and hanging out with their homies, all of a sudden they were taking that away, and they were like, it's your habits, it's your human habits that were taken away, you know. A lot of those habits were detrimental, were bad for civilization. Yeah. A lot of them were beneficial, you know. A lot of were good. A lot of them were good.
Working out at the gym, that was good, you know. Be able to go
out to
health
the park,
foods.
go into the trails. When they closed the trails, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that didn't make no sense to me. Closing a bridge that people walk on and you're already like a few feet apart because people are scared to walk on it to begin with.
I know.
Like, there was so many things that the government should have did differently.
Should have done,
And they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't.
You know, and that's the problem.
And now back to the topic of this episode. You know, I believe that the vaccines have done their job. Let's move forward. You know, I don't think the vaccines are gonna continue helping us move forward. I think it's done. It's served its purpose. You know, versus determining who was gonna take it, who wasn't gonna take it, and who were caught in the middle deciding whether to or not. You know, let it ride it out. I think we've reached, like we said, we've reached herd immunities for that sense, the vaccines did work because it helped certain individuals, and it also helped certain individuals to prove that they didn't need it. That they didn't need the vaccine. They didn't need it because there's people that I know, a handful of people that haven't taken the vaccine and they haven't gotten sick. And they've survived it. I know a handful.
Or they did get sick and they survived.
And I have a handful of friends that haven't had the vaccine and gotten sick, and you know, and vice versa. I know tons of people that have the vaccine and gotten sick.
Yeah.
And now they're out and about because they feel protected. They feel like they can't pass it on. But you know what? In my experience, the vaccinated are the ones that are spreading the virus around because they feel confident that they don't have anything, but they do. They're coughing and sneezing. You know,
well, you see it at work.
I see it at work. I see it at soccer. I play soccer with a bunch of people, and I'm on the field with people that are sneezing and coughing, bro, and they're double vaxxed, triple vaxxed, quadruple vaxxed.
Yeah, spitting out shit on the sideline.
Yeah, some people even came back from Vegas because they were allowed to travel, and they brought some shit back because they tested negative while they were there, but then it takes 2-3 days when they're in here to actually have a flare-up of the virus, and now they test positive.
So where do you think this is going to go now? Because now they're relaxing rules here and there. They're changing regulations for traveling.
We're definitely going to leave that for this next episode, so stay tuned.
Oh, wow.
Where are we going to go next?
And I promise I won't laugh this time and leave you hanging for like, what, 5-10 minutes?
Hey, man, I had a good time without you here, man. I was like... Man, I almost missed you, bro.
I thought you were about to crack up, though.
I held it together. I held it together, man. No, but I did miss you, bro. Don't ever leave me again, all right? So stay tuned, and thank you for watching another episode of The Mind Behind the Curtain.
Thumbs down, and remember GoFundMe, we're going to be coming out with soon, and we want to take this to the next level. So please, people, help us in any way means necessary so we can bring out content on a regular basis because we want to do this full time.
Amen. Thank you. God bless.
It's The Mind Behind the Curtain with your hosts, Alex and Jose. What up, y'all? How y'all doing? Get ready, because we're going to talk about the king of the game. The bad, the